Okay guys, so I figured I'd do a quick video tutorial of how I did my coloring on my embossed image on this card. This is one that I did for a fun little challenge that me and my best friend and my upline, Carrie Rhodes from carriestamps.com, we did a little challenge between ourselves to use a stamp set that we got from this year's Fun Stampers Journey convention, the Better Together convention for 2018. And so we chose the ColourPop, I believe the name is. Yes, it is ColourPop, the name of the set right here. I don't know if you can see that in the, there's the name right there. Oops, right there. And so I used this image right here, be a pop of color in a black and white world. And I had stamped the image on the black licorice cardstock, and he'd embossed it in white. And originally, just so you know, so I got a nice bright white. I also used the True Color Fusion whipped cream to stamp it in, and then I poured the embossing powder over that, and then he'd embossed it, and then it kind of ended up looking like this. And I wanted to put some actual color on it. And I was trying to figure out how I could add color and make it stay. And the True Color Fusion ink is pretty awesome because it basically, it's for all paper surfaces. You do have to heat. Well, looks like my camera shut off while I was filming. I think someone tried to call me or something. So I'm going to continue. I was talking about the True Color Fusion ink, which is great because it stamps on a multitude of surfaces, and sometimes you have to heat set it, but it's great because, yeah, you can stamp on a bunch of things with this. So to go ahead and get right into it, I was trying to figure out how I could get our True Color Fusion inks to be colored on the white embossing and stay. And so before I realized my camera had shut off, I had actually gone through and did an example of it earlier. And I'll just go ahead and do it again. So I'm going to start with the electric lime, and I'm going to take a handy dandy, very inexpensive tool, a Q-tip of all things. And what's great about this is, you know, they're super inexpensive and you don't have to worry about cleaning them. You just throw them away afterwards. And then you just basically pick up some color from your ink pad. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a different letter here. I'm basically dabbing the color with my Q-tip onto the letter that I want, or the area that I want in the image. Just dabbing the color on. Until I'm pretty happy with it. Now, just to show you, I had done it earlier. The only problem with this is it does wipe off easy. See, it can wipe off easy, but that is where you're going to want to a little more there. It's bothering me. Okay. And so from that point, the way you want to seal it in is you want to take your Journey Glaze and go ahead and cover that up. Seal it in there with your Journey Glaze. And that color will stay right on there. And you have a nice raised, shiny element on your card. And so that's how you're going to get it to stay. Now, I do recommend doing this on a very, very dark piece of cardstock. Ideally, it should be your black licorice cardstock, because you do get a little bit of bleed over of the color, obviously, unless you're very, very careful. And unless that's the look that you want, just to keep it clean looking, you want to do it on a black. Kind of almost looks a little bit like chalkboard and colored chalk, which is fun too. But the finished result is this card here. This is the one that Carrie and I did for our little challenge with each other, and it was really fun to do, and I actually really liked the way it turned out. And the cute thing is that I didn't even realize it myself, but Carrie said that it kind of reminded her of a very 80s look. And I didn't think about it till she said it, but I'm like, yeah, it really does. And I just happen to be a girl who loves the 80s. I myself am somewhat vintage 80s. I grew up in the 80s, so I do love me some 80s stuff and some bright colors against some dark backgrounds. So there we go. And you can check out Carrie's card at carriestamps.com and check out what she did for her challenge. And then, of course, I am over at the Paper Princess 1973. And yeah, so hopefully I'll have some more tutorials out for you soon. Thanks very much.